How luxury brands brainwash you to buy. All right, let's see what they're doing to me.
This is Louis Vuitton, the most valuable luxury brand in the world. Each year it sells over $15 billion worth of products and leads the luxury fashion market with the highest profits than any of its competitors. But what you don't see is how these billion-dollar brands target the poor and not the rich, and get inside their head using neuroscience and marketing to control the minds of the masses. And today I'm in Beverly Hills to shop the top 5 luxury fashion brands in the world and expose exactly how they do it. And these are our covert mystery shopping glasses, so we can get footage and expose the tactics that these companies are using firsthand in the store.
This is 10,400, this is 10,800.
And I'm also going to show you.
I actually wonder how they're going to do this because, you know, this is kind of unusual. I've walked past luxury brands and stuff like that in London before, and also in like some other American cities as well. And the shops always look phenomenal. I mean, I remember Vegas. Some of the designer brand shops in Vegas were insanely big. They just looked beautiful. The lighting was nice. I mean, it looked very enticing, but at the same time, it looks very exclusive. So I've never been a luxury brand buyer. I've never had the money for that kind of stuff. I actually don't earn any money from this YouTube channel at all. So I'm not like a wealthy influencer guy or anything. I mean, you know, you could probably tell by the current outfit. But anyway, you know, I'm interested. It'll probably use some like scarcity tactics. You know, you'll probably walk in and it's like, you know what, sir? Yeah, I don't know if we have that in stock right now today. So something like that. Maybe just also be very flattering when they say like, oh yeah, that would look amazing on you, sir. Great choice. But I mean, other than that, I want to know like some secret stuff that they do.
First up is Louis Vuitton.
So before we go into the store, here are some of the tactics that they are known to deploy in store that I'm going to be keeping my eye out for. So these brands, they go through the most extreme measures to manufacture exclusivity. Their limited stock, that is all a fugazi. Do you really think that they don't have the funds to go out there and procure the goods to make enough to sell to the demand? Of course they do. It is by design. They want to keep that stock low so that it increases the urgency for you to act now when they do have the inventory in place and to make it more desirable in the first place. So my bodyguards and I headed into Louis Vuitton to investigate. I told them to pretend I was a billionaire sheikh from Dubai to see how these luxury brands would treat me inside. Immediately, we were met with our first challenge.
This is all women's. Okay. You're very close, 2 blocks.
We went to the all-women.
They went to the wrong place. All right, amazing start, guys. Yeah, really good. Didn't buy a single thing in the first shop we went into. Video is starting successfully. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe if you tell someone you're a sheikh, they'll treat you a bit more nicely. But I don't know if this guy's if it's true what he's saying, where they actually target the less wealthy rather than the super wealthy, then I don't know. Maybe they won't treat them any differently. We'll see. But I think they'll let you buy anything. They just have to like make it seem like it's a favor to you that you're allowed to buy their product. And that's where the interesting bit is, in my opinion.
Store, so we ventured over to the men's store to try and buy a passport wallet. Immediately, we were assigned a personal shopper to show us around the store. I found my wallet on display, and what do you know? They said that this specific item had insane demand and that it wasn't available at this store. But I refused to give up, so we drove 40 minutes to another Louis store. Immediately, we were greeted with another personal shopper. I told them that I wanted a passport wallet, and she immediately brought me to their travel section. Here's where it gets juicy. She mentioned that the wallet I was after was hard to come by, and while she checked the back of the store, she tried to sell me a $1,000 pair of sunglasses, as well as a $4,000 duffel bag. They ended up having the wallet, but somehow it was the last one in stock. All right, so we just copped some Louis V.
That's really interesting. I don't know. I'm intrigued by that kind of tactic. So they obviously, I don't know, why did the first shop say they didn't have it in stock? I mean, obviously that manufactures exclusivity, but I'm just wondering as well, like if you walk into a Louis V shop, you're surrounded by other brands like that as well. So you walk into Louis V, they say, okay, sorry, sir, we don't actually have that wallet. It's in such high demand. I would personally, if I really wanted a wallet, I'd just go next door to like the Gucci shop and get a Gucci wallet if I cared about brands that much, right? But I guess they were banking that this guy would want a Louis Vuitton wallet so badly that he would just like search for other Louis Vuitton shops, and you know, obviously got it, but it did take him an extra drive. So I wonder why there was that much scarcity put onto it. Maybe for the value. Now, when he got into the second shop and they tried to upsell him and say like, oh, okay, yeah, it'll be like 5 minutes, I need to go look at the back. It's such a valuable item. Like all the yapping they went through, I mean, it makes complete sense, right? And then trying to sell like $1,000 glasses, $4,000 bag. I'm sure they tried to sell him a bunch of other things. It makes complete sense. I mean, while you have the customer in the store, he's obviously a wealthy customer because he can go in and afford like a case for his passport, which actually I've never ever seen anyone have. But that's besides the point. Anyway, and yeah, so like they may as well just try and get this guy, you know, like spend more money, keep spending the money. So that second shop makes complete sense to me. Personal shopper, giving you the whole experience. I'm sure he was very flattering, very kind. And yeah, the prices were all outrageous. But the first shop is what confused me there, where they kind of turned him down. And I don't know if that was deliberate or they genuinely were out of stock, but it seems hard to believe.
Whatever it is that you choose that you want, they validate that immediately. That's our most popular. We've only got one more of those in stock. And it's by limiting this supply do things become infinitely more desirable. And why people laugh about it and they say, oh, that's so extreme. The reason that they do it is because it works. And it's not just these huge, massive luxury fashion brands. Think about some of your favorite brands. Think about Apple, for instance. You can't just go in there and just buy their brand new products whenever you want it. They only have a certain amount of inventory that's sent to each location. And if you try to call up in advance and being like, hey, can I get this certain iPhone? They say, I don't know. We get a certain batch sent to the store every day and we don't even know what they're gonna send. And it's the whole manufacturing of that exclusivity is what gets people to just rock up in droves to buy their products.
Next up is Dior.
The number 2 luxury fashion brand in the world. These guys do over $11 billion in sales annually. And they had this tote bag. It's $3,500 and it costs $57 to make. And
What?
the internet is...
What? Wait. 37,000 to buy. No, sorry, 3,700 to buy, and it costs them $57 to make. That's outrageous margins. I don't know, like, what other business has that great margins on a product? I mean, the upcharge on that one bag is insane. So you're definitely buying the brand, which is obvious, all right? Like with all of the designer stuff, the quality is not that much better, if any better at all, to just like standard brands you can get anywhere else, right? Just very middle of the range brands will be just as good quality most of the time. I understand you're paying for the brand, okay? Everyone knows that. That's expected. People turn and look, or at least they think they do when you're wearing a Gucci sweatsuit or whatever it was. But that kind of markup is insane. I would actually hate paying that. Just if I knew the item cost $57 and I had to pay $3,700, I would hate paying that. I would just refuse to, because it would feel like they're just absolutely take me to the cleaners. Like, that's too much of a markup. The brand is not worth that much. I promise you. If you're a wealthy enough guy that can afford that much money for a bag, a tote bag, then you're surrounded by people who are also just as wealthy. So it becomes incredibly unimpressive. It just becomes like a standard thing. So I don't really think it matters.
Going completely wild about it.
Costs less than $60 to make a $5,000 bag.
So let's go on in and see what tactics that they're going to use on us. So we went into Dior and immediately asked to see the $57 tote bag. I couldn't believe that they sold these things for $3,500.
It's an Egyptian cotton. It's woven.
And even though I don't think it was anything special, I gotta respect it, because this is the very first thing that I do when a client wires me $50K. I get on the phone with them and I tell them immediately, straight out of the gate, you need to double your prices, because you want to be selling at a premium price point. Unless your business model is to be able to service the entire market so nobody can possibly compete with you on price, then operating at the lower end of the market is a fool's errand, and you do not want to play the race to the bottom, because you never win. All prices are made up.
That's a really interesting point. That's a really, very, very interesting point, because I get what he's saying here. He's saying, like, if you're trying to sell to every single person, all right, essentially you want to sell to everyone in the country, right, then you have to outcompete every shop in being below their price, which is incredibly difficult when you're competing against massive established brands who already have supply chains set up, who already have like the manufacturing sorted out, and you know they're probably being can afford to get stuff like overseas from cheap, where labor is cheaper, and they can afford to outsource to the right places to get the most effective price. So yeah, I understand what you're saying here. The race to the bottom is incredibly difficult, and you know to get that all set up and get yourself, and to be able to compete on that same level with the massive providers like Walmart or Amazon is near to impossible. I kind of, that makes complete sense. So now that he's making that point of like, oh, you want to be on the more premium side of things, where you're actually just selling like for a higher price than expected, you're selling your product as higher quality and kind of trying to work to justify that price instead of putting the work into bringing the price down, I actually see that as making more sense for me. Now, I'm not too fond of the idea of people overcharging customers, because I just think that's generally, you know, like, it's all right. I'm not against making profit. I'm very much grown up in a capitalist society, and I think it's worked out pretty well. But also charging, you know, $3,500 for, you know, a $75 bag or whatever it was is outrageous as well. Like that is kind of next level. But I guess they could just choose to not buy it, which is fair enough.
Next up is Gucci.
Everybody knows Gucci. It's the loudest fashion brand that there is. You got the Gucci belt, the loafers, the jumpsuits. So your boy is about to go on in and...
I'm not gonna lie to you, when I'm seeing those pictures of like the snapshots with the Gucci loafers, the Gucci bags, the Gucci jackets, I honestly struggle to find like a general brand in terms of, you know, like a designer brand that I find more ugly than Gucci. I can't lie. Like, I just don't think that like disgusting dirt brown is exactly the look I want to go for and the colors I want to wear. I understand brown, like I have brown trousers, I have brown, you know, like shirts, whatever, it's fine, it works, it's a good color, but I'm just saying that with the Gucci logo like smothered everywhere, and then the red and the green stripes, I don't get it. I don't find any of their products that good at all. I'm maybe more of a minimalist when I dress, but I just sorry, it just doesn't work for me.
Get dripped out in that Gucci stuff. Let's see the tactics that these guys deploy. We enter Gucci, and the first thing that I notice is the man at the door whose entire job is to let you through their velvet rope. I let them know that I wanted to get as drippy as possible, so they took me to the back of the store to all of the clothes. They offered me nothing but the finest sparkling water, and then I asked to try on one of their tracksuits. They left me waiting for around 10 minutes. My guess is that this was a tactic to get me to browse some more. I looked at some of the shoes, the Gucci belts, and then they called me to the changing room to try on the Gucci tracksuit. And let me tell you, this thing was ridiculous, and the entire set cost somewhere around $5,000. You are definitely buying.
Bro, you look like no, you don't look good, bro. I'm sorry that I just have to interject here. I don't think that looks good. I don't know why you would want to wear that. It's like it doesn't complement any kind of style. It's just so outrageously in your face that the only thing you see is the fact, oh wow, he's wearing a Gucci tracksuit, but it doesn't say anything about how good your style is, or like how well you can match colors to your facial tones or anything like that. It shows no proficiency for any kind of fashion other than it was expensive and people think they like it, so I'm gonna get it. In my opinion. I mean, that's just me. Maybe I'm completely yapping away. I have no idea what I'm on about, but let me know.
Buying the brand and the status with this one. We seek social status, from the schools that we go to the places that we work, to the type of clothes that we wear. Everybody wants to signal a certain status, and we all want to be perceived as being higher status than the people that we associate with. A lot of businesses just sit down, they think about all the features and the benefits of whatever it is that they've got to sell, but they don't think about what buying their product represents from a status standpoint and what it signals, or what type of status does it unlock if someone buys for you. And if you think about these luxury brands, you are not buying the material, you're not buying the cotton, you're not buying all of those specific things. Yes, they harp on about craftsmanship and quality, but that is how they justify the sale. That is not how they get you to buy in the first place. It is an emotional sale. They are selling you the status of having the big Gucci logo on your tracksuit because they know all the rappers and celebrities, influencers, that it is what they're wearing, and you want to be like them, and therefore this is like a cheat code if you you buy this, you are going to be like them.
Before
No, I do understand that, and I trust me, I get that. People have idols in life where they look up to the sports star or the the musician or this person, that person, whatever it is, and they're seen wearing like a Gucci tracksuit or whatever, or like they bring out the Gucci wallet to pay for their thousands of dollars worth of dinner, and yeah, okay, people want it, but I just don't think, in my opinion, when I see someone wearing Gucci, that it signals status right now. I just think, first of all, that's an ugly outfit. And second of all, you were taken to the cleaners for the price, like, to be honest. When I see something that's like an outfit that screams wealth at me is a nice suit, okay? Not one that's blazoned with logos, okay? This is the other thing. I'm not too much of a fan of brands that put their logos all over their clothes, because then I become like a walking advertisement, okay? Like a walking advert for their brand. And I just don't want to be that. I want to dress in nice. I want the colors to compliment me. I want the fit to compliment me. I want people to realize that when I dress myself, I'm actually doing it myself. I'm not having a brand dictate to me what looks good. I'm dictating to everyone else what I think looks good. So it's like a personal expression rather than just being impressed upon. But I don't know, maybe I completely get the celebrity thing. I completely get you want to be like the guy you see on TV or the girl you see on TV. But to me, Gucci is not doing it, in my opinion. I'm sorry, it's not it.
Before we dive into what might be the craziest manipulation tactic I've seen from any retailer at Rolex, I decided to play a little prank on the people over at Balenciaga. These guys are known for their out-of-pocket designs, like their $1,800 leather chips bag and $4,000 tape bracelet. So I asked to try on their biggest oversized hoodie and Kanye's favorite, the oversized croc boots.
Bro, I almost lost it when you made them bring out those fucking Croc boots.
Their products are so wild that there has to be some other reason as to why they're able to sell over $1.4 billion a year.
Didn't Balenciaga have that whole scandal where they were putting like children on the cover of their adverts or something, or like on the cover of their magazines, and then everyone got up in arms, there were big protests in front of them and stuff? I've never seen the appeal to Balenciaga. To be honest, I find them also incredibly ugly. The coats that he had out there, like the jackets, they were looking all right in terms of that, but I probably wouldn't buy for them anyway, just because of that whole thing with the children, that controversy. But everything else, like the boots are horrendous, the shoes look horrendous, the caps are just unoriginal. I mean, I don't know, again, Balenciaga, underwhelming, incredibly underwhelming. Especially their fashion, like Gucci, I find you just look like a walking advert. With Balenciaga, like you've bought for example, the big Crocs, the big boot Croc things, and you're just paying to look bad. It just does not it's not flattering in any way. It doesn't make you look elegant. It doesn't signal desirability. I just think you look like a complete muppet. You're just walking around with these huge boots on. But again, maybe I'm completely missing the point. Maybe I'm just completely out of it. I have no idea what I'm talking about, but that's just not me. Again, there are some brands I can get on board with, and I think we'll get towards the end of the video and we'll see some more of those, and I'll give my opinion there. But Gucci, Balenciaga, not it for me, I can't lie.
All right, here we are at the front of Chanel. It is the 4th ranked luxury brand in the world. Let's go on in and see what it's all about. Inside of Chanel, I asked to see their most popular item, the classic Chanel bag. And of course, they tried to use the exclusivity of these bags against me.
Caviar gold hardware. This is 10,400. This is 10,800.
Claiming that it was a limit of 1 per customer when I asked to purchase 3 of them for my daughters. A few minutes later, and they let me know that miraculously that they happened to find 3 of these exact bags that I was looking for in stock. And they told me that I would actually be able to buy all 3 of them because I had me and my 2 bodyguards. But one thing
Right, and okay, any excuse to make the sale, huh? That's exactly what we were talking about at the beginning with it, the fake scarcity, and like, oh no, sir, I don't know if I can let you buy that. That's gonna be difficult. Oh, we don't even have that many. They're so popular. And then 10 minutes later, after they got you sweating a little bit, like, oh, maybe I can't buy this for my wife. Maybe I can't buy this for my daughter. Then it's, oh, so magically we just found some in the back, and like, oh, you're my favorite customer, so I'll bring them out for you. And you know what? Your bodyguards are here, so we'll put it all in a package deal, and there you go. You can have your completely like factory made handbags or whatever, and you're gonna pay a stupid amount of price for them. So enjoy, sir, but I'm doing you the favor. Essentially, that's what they're trying to do, and I get it. But I think it's just funny to see. They're doing it very blatantly.
That I noticed about Chanel that stands out from all the other luxury brands is just how heavy they lean into their feminine and timeless style. Everything they do, from the way the hostess greets you, the lighting in the store, the products themselves, all radiate the same energy. They want to link an association with an idea or a feeling with their brand. And it's the same thing with how Volvo pairs their brand with security and safety, or Nike with determination, and Apple with simplicity. It is simply a link between an idea and a concept to their brand, and they keep hammering it in all their communication until that link is formed. And it's the very same reason that these brands spend millions and millions of dollars a year on influencers. They're taking a relationship.
Listen, that's very interesting, because I had a Volvo. I grew up with a Volvo, like in a Volvo, and it never broke down. For like 16 years, it was really good. Love the car, started up every time, like no problems at all. So Volvo has got like a very, very high position in my favorite brands right there, especially for cars. I always think they're incredibly reliable. But that's just my experience with, I don't know, maybe someone else has had a bad one. In terms of Apple, I've always been an Apple user myself. So then, like, you know, it always seems like the most simple one, especially when someone hands me an Android and I'm like, okay, we're swiping the opposite direction. I don't know any of the icons. Like, yeah, it's got a good link in my head where it says like, okay, I know how to use it. Simplicity, ease of access, great use. Okay, Chanel, for that matter, has actually also got a good one. Okay, I don't mind Chanel at all. I think their bags are kind of clean. I think they are a little bit timeless. They've linked that incredibly well. I think they are fashionable because they're not like blaring, they're not jumping out at you too much, and also, you know, they realize that it's not about the brand all the time, it's about like the person wearing the brand. So I can kind of appreciate that the brand isn't there to just sell itself, it's there to sell the person wearing it. So I think that's a good thing. I like the brand somewhat. Okay, it's higher than Gucci and Balenciaga, but that's not very difficult to do, to be honest.
And now Rolex. It is the 5th ranked luxury fashion brand in the world. These guys do over $10.1 billion in sales annually. Everybody knows it is almost impossible to get a Rolex. I have been all over the world searching for a timepiece and I cannot find it. Going in, I'm gonna try my hardest to get a watch for wifey. But the thing is, it's almost impossible to actually buy a Rolex at the store. That is because they actually don't hold anything for sale. I went in with the exact watch that I wanted in mind, and they said that it was not available to purchase, but they would take down my phone number and call me when it was in stock. What female watches do you have in stock?
Today I only have exhibition, so I don't have anything for sale today.
What about in men's?
Again, I don't have any
There's
models
no
for
watches at all for sale.
Everything is exhibition.
They claim that it's because their watches are in such high demand that they are unable to keep up any inventory in store. But this is just all a fugazi.
Oh my goodness. Okay, that's complete yappa, waffle. Again, like, he's gonna go say it, but I'm just gonna say it first because I paused the video. Unlucky body. It's just manufacturing the scarcity thing, okay? Again, going back to the beginning, not everyone can get their hands on it. We actually don't carry them because they're so popular, so, you know, so you just have to be put on the waiting list. I personally like Rolex, okay? I've grown up thinking they're great watches. I like the look of them. I just think they look really cool. They've got nice designs. I actually would love to own one day. So, you know, I'm a big fan of Rolex. Now, the fact that you have to go on the waiting list to actually buy a brand new one is really silly. I probably would not do that. I'd probably just buy them off like the grey market, secondhand dealers, maybe, you know, a little bit used, whatever. I don't really care. I just like the look of them, so I don't care if someone's had them before. But yeah, this whole like thing where you have to go on the waiting list and they pretend to not have them and just to upsell you and get you on the price. Yeah, I think that's kind of sleazy and I don't like it. But having said that, you can always just go and buy a different watch if you don't like it. So they're allowed to do it. It's up to them.
To sell the exclusivity of the brand. They've learned that they are way more profitable by selling the waitlist than actual watches. But how are they able to justify such a premium price tag if they won't even sell you in store? The whole idea of charging premium prices is typically an idea that most business owners can get around. But the thing that they don't like to think about is what type of service would they need to provide in order to justify that premium price tag? Because you can't just go, oh, that sounds great, Sabri. Let me just charge double, triple for what it is that I've got right now. Because a transaction takes place where value exceeds price. And what I have found from having...
Okay. The value of these things is definitely not in the quality or the thing itself. It's a brand that comes with it, and we've already kind of discussed that. Now, I've got more sympathy for watches because you can walk in. For example, I've got a nice, very nice looking watch on my wrist right now. Okay. And I've had people ask me, what's that watch? Where do you get it from? What does it do? It looks fancy. It looks complicated, blah, blah, blah. It's a good conversation starter for when you're in a room with like new people. Okay. And even when I first got it, a lot of my friends were asking me about it. So the value in the watches is more like the human connections you can build off them. But if you're wearing a Gucci sweatshirt or something like that, no one cares. Honestly, that's not starting any conversations except for maybe a tailor coming up to you and saying, look, take my card, I can sort you out. Other than that, I really don't think it's any worth having most designer brands, okay? But I find it interesting. These tactics were very interesting. I think the scarcity one was crazy. The fact that they make you wait in the store or not, they won't even sell you in the store is also absurd. I don't know if I'd go that far. If I had a luxury brand, I think I'd always try and want to make that sale in a store if I could. I understand for Rolex, maybe it's different because they just have a continuous line. But for like, the first one they went to, the Louis Vuitton one or whatever, I just sell them the passport thing right there. Like, why would I just deny you and let you walk out of the shop without buying anything? That seems stupid. But, generally, is it worth buying for anyone and everyone? Absolutely not. I don't even think if you can afford it, it's worth buying most designer brands. Honestly, I just don't. Now, if you can afford the exceptions, go for the exceptions or whatever. If you just enjoy it because you think it looks good, then go for it as well. I'm not saying you can't buy it. I'm not doing that. But I'm just saying there are probably better ways to spend your money. You probably get a better return on what you're buying most of the time if you buy like a non-designer brand, okay? That's just the reality of it. You saw the 3,500 bags going for like what, $757 or something. So yeah, exactly. You're being taken to the cleaners for it. And I just don't want to do that. It's not me. I don't want to touch that thing. I'll just take the things I like, the things I think I look good, and leave everything else, which is quite a lot. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm going to do. Anyway, if you made it to the end of the video, I would very much appreciate you liking so I can get more people to see this video. I'd also appreciate you subscribing because I'm so close to 300 subscribers. It'll be really cool to see that little number go up, which is, it makes me feel good, makes me feel lovely. And yeah, if you enjoyed me giving my opinions and just doing a little bit of yapping towards you in your general direction, then yeah, you probably enjoyed my last video, which was all about Laserbeam's last game. Okay, Laserbeam, the cool, insanely big YouTuber that everyone likes. I think is very cool. I think it's very fun. He made a game. He made a game with a friend, and it did unfortunately not do too well. I don't want to spoil it too much, but it was not amazing. So please go check it out. We kind of talk about it. We talk about the downfall. It's all very fun, very exciting, and yeah, please go and enjoy it. And I hope, even if you don't, that you have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you.